Hello, welcome to my channel. And I know that the channel is called Fan Football Talk, and we've been doing a lot of wrestling content, but I promise you we will be doing a lot more football content once the NFL draft comes around. I know Julio Jones and Patrick Peterson have retired, but like I said all the time, WrestleMania is right around the corner, so we will be talking a lot of wrestling. Friday Night SmackDown. They had a, 8 women gauntlet tag team match that had the likes of Lyra Valkyria and Bailey, Maxine Dupree and Natalia, The Secret Hervis, B-Fab, and Michin, and PFC. That was the other team. Now, don't get me wrong, PFC is an actual women's tag team. Besides PFC and The Secret Hervis, none of them other tag teams were tag teams. They were just random people put together. There was Natalia and Maxine Dupree. I have never seen them tag team in my life. Bailey and Lyra just fought for the Intercontinental Championship on Monday Night Raw, and you throw them in a tag team match 4 days later. And here's my thing. B-Fab and Michin have gotten closer because of the whole Chelsea Green ducking and dodging Michin, and, B-Fab just wanted to even the score, 2-on-2. But here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. You have Zarya and Sol Ruka right there in NXT. You could have also had Lash Legend and Jakari Jackson fighting for those titles. Now, what I would have done, instead of Maxine Dupree and Natalia, I would have Lash Legend and Jakari Jackson. Instead of B-Fab and Michin, I would have had, like I said, Sol Ruka and Zarya. But no, instead, they decided, oh no, we just need to throw people together. What about Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade? We could have got Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And they were so urgent to put Liv Morgan on the card. Why didn't you just have Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, and Lyra all in the same match? And then just have Lyra retain. Liv Morgan still is women's tag team champion. Roxanne Perez gets put, in the main scene, which is WrestleMania, which should be everybody's, go-to. When it comes to wanting to be on a pay-per-view, you should want to be on WrestleMania, especially if it's night 1, night 2. That means there's a lot of opportunities. But you throw these random tag teams together. And I think they just did this just so they can get Liv Morgan on the WrestleMania card. But you could have did a program where it could have been a fatal 4-way. It could have been Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, Lyra, and Bailey for the Intercontinental Women's Championship. But instead, they threw Maxine Dupree and Natalia in there. Because even if you put Maxine Dupree and Natalia in the ring with the Women's Tag Team Championships on the line, it's a squash match. They're not winning anything. PFC. Zoe Starks, she had a couple of moments last year, but she's not winning. And Shayna Baszler has not been the same Shayna Baszler that we all thought she was going to be after beating Ronda Rousey. And she was a force to be reckoned with in NXT. She has not been the same. So we know they're not winning. We know B-Fab and Michin, they're not winning. And then even putting Lyra and Bailey in the not the main event, but the WrestleMania card, you're doing that because that's what you have. But let's just trickle down to NXT. To see a Soul Snatcher from Sol Ruka on Liv Morgan, or even on Raquel. But no, but no. They threw these random tag teams together just so they can try to find an opponent for Liv Morgan and Raquel at Mania, which didn't seem any sense. There's no like build up to this storyline. There's no heat between any of them. I mean, I just don't really see why they would do what they did. But hey, it is what it is. Bailey and Lyra Valkyria will be fighting Raquel and Liv Morgan for the women's tag team championships at WrestleMania. And honestly, it's just bad. Okay, that was just terrible. And also, while we're on the topic of tag team titles, the Street Profits. The Street Profits will be defending their tag team championships not at WrestleMania. It'll be the night before WrestleMania against Motor City Machine Guns. But, time out. The War Raiders are defending their tag team gold against the New Day at WrestleMania. Now, I just want to throw something out there. SmackDown's tag team division has been very, very good. Legado del Fantasma, Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, Pretty Deadly. I mean, Melodome Miz is coming up there, but they haven't really gotten in the mix yet. And the Street Profits, I mean, those 4 teams alone, 4 or 5 teams alone that I just named outside of Melodome Miz, you know, I think honestly they could have had the War Raiders and New Day spot. I would switch those two. Because clearly SmackDown has the blueprint. They're just giving every team a chance. You get a chance. You get a chance. You get a number one contender's chance. You get a number one contender's chance. You get chance. You get chance. You get chance. The only team I feel like SmackDown hasn't let, go after the tag team titles is Legado del Fantasma, but they've had at least number one contender shots. So therefore, I would put SmackDown. Why are the Street Profits and Motor City Machine Guns being replaced by the New Day, who had a wasted heel turn, and the War Raiders? You should have gave them their moment. You should have gave the New Day their moment months ago. But you didn't. So, I just want to say that this tag team division thing that they're doing right now, they're ruining it. Now, I'm still excited for Mania, don't get me wrong, but I felt like it was a little weird with the whole, women's tag team gauntlet thing. Didn't really surprise me. I mean, it surprised me of the teams that they threw together, but it just seemed a little unnecessary to get Liv Morgan on the card. I would want Liv Morgan on the card, but like I said, you could have did a thing with Lyra, with Bailey, and Roxanne to get Roxanne, Liv, Bailey, and Lyra on the card if that's what you really wanted. And Raquel could have just came out with Liv. That way she's, there at Mania. She might not have a match, but she's there. I don't know. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments. See you in the next one.